When Julia first stepped into the hotel lobby, she thought it was just another business trip. A week of meetings, reports, and endless calls. She was tired of the rush of the big city and the quiet loneliness that followed her everywhere. Everything changed the moment she approached the reception desk. Behind it stood two women. One calm and focused, typing something into the computer. The other, smiling warmly at the guests, her voice confident yet gentle. When Julia came closer, both of them looked up and time suddenly froze. "Welcome," one of them said. "I'm Catherine. And this is Emma. How can we help you?" Julia noticed the small curve of a smile on Emma's lips and felt her heart skip a beat. That was the moment everything began. Later that evening, Julia came back down to the lobby, just for a cup of coffee, or at least that's what she told herself. She wanted to see them again. Catherine was sitting at the desk, flipping through papers. Emma was writing something in a notebook. They glanced at each other, and then Catherine said, "We're finishing our shift soon. Would you like to join us for a coffee across the street?" Julia hesitated for only a second. That night they talked for hours about movies, music, life, and how hard it is to be yourself in a world that expects you to play a certain role. There was laughter, eye contact, and an invisible thread slowly forming between them. Catherine, confident, bold, a little reckless. Emma, soft, quiet, with sadness hidden in her eyes. And Julia, the bridge between them, the one who felt both deeply and honestly. The next morning, when Julia came to the desk again, Catherine leaned closer and said softly, "We talked about you last night." "In what way?" Julia asked, surprised. Emma blushed and murmured, We both liked you." Julia laughed, thinking it was a joke, but the look in their eyes was too real to ignore. Days passed, filled with quiet tension. Every meeting felt like an unspoken confession. A brush of a hand, a look that lasted a second too long, and suddenly the air between them became electric. One rainy evening, Julia brought them hot cocoa. Emma took the cup, but her hand trembled slightly. Catherine noticed, came around the desk, and gently wrapped an arm around her shoulders. Julia stood in front of them, their eyes meeting, full of warmth and hesitation. "Stop being afraid," Catherine whispered. She leaned in and kissed Julia. Then Emma, as if breaking through her own fear, softly kissed Julia from the other side. It wasn't passion, it was truth. A quiet confession that love can be different, complicated, but still real. After that night, nothing was the same. They began spending time together, walking by the waterfront, watching old movies, cooking dinner for three. Everything seemed perfect until reality knocked on their door. The hotel couldn't ignore the whispers. Rumors spread, glances lingered too long, people talked behind their backs. Emma suffered the most, afraid not just of losing her job, but of losing the fragile happiness she had just found. One night, she sat by the window silent. Julia came up and hugged her. "If you want, I'll go," Emma whispered. "No," Julia replied. "I don't want you to run away. I want us to live as we truly are." Catherine joined them, kneeling beside the two, taking their hands. "Let the world think what it wants," she said. "What matters is that we chose each other." Since then, they've been together. Not because it's easy, but because each of them became part of something bigger, a love that didn't fit into simple definitions. And sometimes, when they walk past the desk with the reception sign, they smile. Because right there, among polite greetings and the glow of computer screens, began the story that changed their lives forever.